Most people focus on the moment accountability is introduced, the reform, the new regulation, the oversight framework, the committee creation, the policy update. It feels responsible, mature, necessary. But the real story doesn't start when the accountability model is approved. It starts the day after. Today, we're looking at what really happens after accountability models are implemented, when headlines fade, public pressure cools, and the long-term consequences begin quietly shaping behavior inside organizations. Because accountability isn't tested in the announcement, it's tested in what people do when no one is watching. Let's start with the moment everyone remembers. A crisis happens, a scandal surfaces, a system fails, and suddenly the call is clear: we need stronger accountability. A new framework is introduced: independent oversight board, clear reporting lines, audit committee expansion, escalation procedures, transparency policies, documentation requirements. It looks structured, professional, responsible. Why it felt right: it reassured stakeholders, it signaled seriousness, it restored confidence, it created visible control. The assumptions made in that moment: more rules was better behavior, more reporting, more transparency, more oversight, fewer failures. Structural change, cultural change. And at the time, this decision made sense. It often does. But governance is not about what looks strong. It's about what remains strong after the spotlight fades. The day after, things still look fine. The board feels safer. Executives feel protected. Stakeholders feel reassured. There are early wins. Compliance dashboards look clean. Reports are submitted on time. Meetings feel more structured. Risk logs are updated. It feels like control has returned. There's calm, and that calm creates confidence. The model worked. No judgment here. Because in the short term, accountability models often do create stability. But governance rarely fails immediately. It evolves. This is where the invisible shifts begin, subtle behavior changes. And this is the part most organizations never study. 1. Behavior becomes defensive. When accountability increases, people don't always become more responsible. They become more cautious. Decision makers begin asking, is this documented? Will this be audited? Who signs off? Who gets blamed? Innovation slows. Risk appetite shrinks. Email trails grow longer. Reporting replaces thinking. Metrics multiply. Dashboards expand, but conversations shrink. Instead of asking what is actually happening, teams ask, does it pass the control? Compliance becomes performance theater. The system is satisfied, reality may not be. 3. Ownership diffuses. Ironically, more accountability layers can dilute personal responsibility. When everyone is accountable, no one feels fully accountable. Decisions move upward. Approvals multiply. Execution slows. The model intended to increase responsibility may begin reducing initiative. And nobody notices at first. The consequences don't arrive loudly, they arrive slowly. 6 months later, decision cycles are longer, risk reports are thicker, escalations increase, people defer instead of decide. A year later, high performers feel constrained, middle managers feel exposed, executives feel over-reported but under-informed. Then one day, something fails again, and it feels sudden, but nothing broke overnight. The accountability model didn't fail in theory. It shifted behavior in practice, and behavior compounds, just like risk. Most people don't ignore problems, they simply don't see them yet. Why? Cognitive bias. We assume new controls must be improvements. Overconfidence. We design this carefully, it will work. Process blindness. If forms are completed and policies exist, we assume governance is strong. Emotional investment. Leaders defend the system they created. Organizational inertia. Once structures are built, they are hard to question. Accountability models become untouchable. But governance should never be sacred. It should be examined continuously. Experienced governance professionals don't judge accountability models by how they launch. They judge them by how behavior changes after launch. Here's what they monitor. Post-implementation signals. Are decisions faster or slower? Has documentation increased but clarity decreased? Are people escalating more or thinking less? Is innovation shrinking? Are meetings about risk or about optics? Cultural questions. Do employees feel safer or more exposed? Are leaders modeling accountability or outsourcing it? Is responsibility clearer or more fragmented? Long-term markers. Does transparency improve truth or just improve reporting? Experienced professionals understand accountability systems shape incentives, and incentives shape behavior, and behavior determines outcomes. The lesson isn't, don't implement accountability models. The lesson is, plan for the day after. Here's the mindset shift. Don't ask, does this look strong? Ask, how will this change behavior in 6 months? One framing principle. Every control has a cultural cost. And one long-term question you should always ask. If this system works exactly as designed, what unintended behaviors might it create? That single question changes governance thinking entirely. Most accountability models don't fail when they're announced. They fail in the days, weeks, and months that follow. Not because they were wrong, but because they were incomplete. Governance is not about building structures. It's about understanding how structures shape human behavior. If this changed how you think about accountability models, that's the goal. This is the day after. And next week, we'll explore the day after transparency policies. Because sometimes, more visibility doesn't create more truth.